Hey, what's going on? This is Shaun of the Dead. First off, I'll show you my new patch here. It's my little zombie, there we go. My zombie hunting permit. And of course, one of my new shirts. Of course, like the stickers that I have on my computer, like my mouse pad and all that. Yeah, it's all about, surviving the zombie apocalypse. The reason I made this video today is in reply to Piers Morgan shoots an assault rifle. Evidently, he went to a firearms store down in Houston and shot a few firearms. My buddy 2C2, check out his channel. He texts me. He's like, "Dude, check this out on YouTube, and you can go in there and you can watch it if you want." It's just more of Piers Morgan's bullcrap. The guy at the gun store actually got a little bit more information out there than most of the people that Piers Morgan speaks with, even though he still got cut off a lot because Piers Morgan has this huge problem with letting people finish their sentences. He'll ask you a question and he'll let you get a half answer out, kind of like an attorney in court, and they say, you swear the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and all that, but yet whenever you ask a question, they'll give me a yes or no answer. That's not the whole truth. That's not nothing but the truth. That's a yes or no answer. That's nothing to do with the truth. That is a very skewed perception of what's going on. You say the whole truth. That means I can never ever answer a yes or no question in court. And I would say that if I'm subpoenaed to a stand to answer a question and it says, you swear to say the whole, to give the whole truth and nothing but the truth, I'll be like, the whole truth. And if I get asked a question, I go, now let me remind you, I am under oath to give you the whole truth. So I will not answer a yes or no question, period. I will not. I will give you the whole truth because that's what I just promised to do. So just keep that in mind if you ever go to court, and you want to make sure that your information is heard. Just throw that out there. It's like, hey, I'm under oath to give you the whole truth. Not a yes or no answer, but the whole truth. And so what he does is he does these little half, segments where people just get a chance to say a few things, and then he cuts them off. Ben Shapiro did a really, really good job about jumping on him. Of course, Ted Nugent always rocks this dude out. He's really great about it. And Piers Morgan's shows kind of, always an agenda pushing a bunch of crap anyway. This video is not for the pro-gunners. This video is not for the anti-gunners. Pro-gun folks, you're already on my side, so hey, I appreciate your support. Please watch my videos. Please give a thumbs up. Please throw out your comments and your thoughts. And anti-gun people, you know what? Go ahead and throw your thumbs down if you don't like what I have to say. That's fine. I'm cool with that. You can thumb down all day long, all you want. I don't care. That's okay with me. And put your comments on there too. But for both parties, if you get off topic and put some bullcrap on there that has nothing to do with what the video is about, or if you just start to flam inflammatory bullcrap and just flame at each other, I will remove all your crap. And if need be, I'll block you. As I wanted to stay on topic, and I wanted to stay a real conversation. There's no reason to get foul and ugly and out of the way with each other. There's no reason for it. The pro-gun people are going to be pro-gun. The anti-gun people are going to be anti-gun. So this isn't for the anti-gun people. I'm not trying to change your mind. I don't care what you think. The pro-gun people, I already know what you think, so it doesn't matter. These are for the people that are in the middle. These are the people that are stuck in the middle that are listening to, the NRA, grassroots, fear-mongering crap going, oh, they're going to take away our rights. And then they're hearing Piers Morgan, oh, these guns are killing all of our children. Oh, we're pulling you this way. And they're like, well, what do I do? Well, what's what you do? Shake them both the frack off. Tell them both to shut the hell up, and you get a brain and not be a sheeple, and get out there and do some research. This is what you do. You get out there, you check out the facts. You find out what's going on. If you watch that video, you'll see that he shoots a semi-automatic. He goes pop, 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 pop. He shoots a fully automatic. He's like, brah, 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 brah. Oh, that felt so powerful. Well, you just shot a fully automatic firearm. And of course, it's going to have more recoil and muzzle rising. It's going to feel more out of control in your hands because it's a fully automatic weapon. It's the first time you've ever fired one. You're not trained. You have no idea what you're doing. And he's like, well, you could just spray down a whole theater with that. I don't, because the guy pointed out to him how inconsistent his shots were with that compared to a single shot. But he was trying to say that if you went into a theater, you could just kind of hose them all down. And it's like, dude, really, seriously, you're trying to go there, and he's trying to talk about well, these are for home defense, and the guy's like, no, here's a shotgun, a pump shotgun that I would recommend for home defense. It's a pump shotgun, and that way you can just kind of keep reloading and shooting. It's a pistol grip, and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, well, I don't necessarily agree with the guy, but whatever, that's cool. He has his personal opinions. But at least he wasn't as stupid as our freaking vice president saying use a double barrel shotgun because that's the world's best weapon, because that's obviously retarded. But he was still using the shotgun, and I'm okay with the shotguns for home defense. They're phenomenal for home defense, but the issue has never been about home defense. The whole point about all this bullcrap is about the Second Amendment right. It's the right to bear arms to stop a tyrannical government from taking your rights away from you and to do things that the people don't want. And, people were talking about their supposed statistics. I've had people get on my comments and they're like, well, like 80%, 90% of the population wants a gun ban, so how come there's not a gun ban? Because that's what the people want. You can't say that. You know why? Because I have not personally I've ever been censused, or any of the people that I know that are pro and anti-gun people that I know, and I know both, and none of them has ever been asked, and it's by a census person, would you like firearms banned or not? Never been asked. So how can your statistics be true whenever I've never been asked? Anybody and everybody that I know has never been asked. I've never heard of any of my friends of friends being asked if they are pro or anti-gun by a census board. Excuse me. So if I've never been asked, my friends haven't been asked, and their friends haven't been asked, then how can you get a proper statistic saying, oh, well, this is the percentage of the American populace that wants to get this done? Well, obviously your numbers are not correct, because if your numbers were correct, that means I would have been asked. Everybody I know would have been asked. They would have polled the entire American population, and it would have been fine. And if 100% of the population or a large number of the population was like, you know what, we don't want guns, hey, you know what? And those states, if they want to get rid of their guns, and they can do what the hell they want in their states, I'll stay in the state that does, because I know not every state is gonna go for it. Most states probably won't go for it. So, and so that's one of the things you got to think about whenever you're looking at all this stuff is, where are they getting their statistics from? They're all fabricated. It's all fabricated bullcrap. And I'm a member of the NRA. Okay, so it's not like I hate the NRA. I appreciate what they do for us, and I appreciate how they help us out and they do things for us. But at the same time, they're agenda pushing too. They're fear mongering as well. They're just as bad as the Piers Morgans of the world, because Piers Morgans are vomiting out this vile, putrid anti-gun sentiment and standing on the bodies of dead children, just like Bill Shapiro said. All these people that are anti-gun are standing on bodies of dead children saying, beating this dead horse to death, and in this case, bringing up the fact of slaughtered children over and over and over and over again. Well, let me ask you a question. What if this psychopath that went into the school to slaughter children didn't have access to a gun? We're just going to play imaginary for a minute. So, say he goes in there with a sword, or a machete, or better yet, he goes in there with a meat cleaver that you chop ribs and steak and whatever with, that you get. They're pretty heavy, they're pretty freaking sharp, they can chop through bone, and he goes in there with a meat cleaver, and he hacks up a room full of children? Are you going to ban meat cleavers from everybody? Are you going to make meat cleavers smaller and lighter? Because that way you can only dice meat instead of chop meat. Because the meat cleavers are a deadly weapon now. They're assault cleavers. So you have to have a special thing. So you can't have a foregrip on your meat cleaver, because that makes it a military style cleaver. I mean, it's as ridiculous as that. You're looking at sport rifles, and you're looking at rifles that are for people to defend their country against the tyrannical government that is trying to take control of the country. And then Piers was talking to this guy at the gun store, and he's like, well, why do you want these guns? And he's like, hey, it's been said and it's been, thought that these people, these government officials might come and send some people to your house to take your guns. He's like, you think they're going to attack American citizens? And he's like, I hope not. Well, you know what? I have the answer to that question right now. Yes. The answer is yes, they will. He said one thing that guy did say is like, they're going to do what they're ordered to do. It won't be it will be bad. It could be worse, but it will be bad. If everyone was an automaton and did exactly what they were told, then it would be horrible, catastrophic. They would just come down and slaughter anyone that didn't comply, and that's it. It would be a very Gestapo feel. And we would be under a Hitler regime versus a free country. But we have some free thinkers in the military, so some people wouldn't do it or whatever. But what they're going to do is, like, if you're from California, you're going to probably be off in like Pennsylvania somewhere doing your stuff there. People in Pennsylvania will be off in like Nevada. Nevada will be off in like Florida, and Florida will be in like California, and Arizona will be in New York, and and if you're from a certain area, they're going to put you with a platoon that's in a completely different area and demographic and culture than you're used to, so that way you're going to be more compliant to fight against and to go against the Constitution and take people's guns out of their homes lawfully. And the answer to the question that I said that I know the answer to is yes, they will do that. And the reason I know that they will do that is because they've already demonstrated that they will, because they have. I watched a YouTube video, and they was talking about some stuff on gun control and all that. And at the end, they had these pictures. And it was the woman's testimony that her parents died in Luby's, and she would have shot the guy, but legislation passed that she couldn't carry concealed carry. So she left her gun in her car, and her parents died, and she couldn't stop the assailant. And she's not anti-gun because she lost somebody. Neil Hessen lost his son and was an avid hunter, but now he wants to get rid of guns because that's what happened to kill his son. Well, what if his son would have been in a car wreck? Would he want to outlaw vehicles? I mean, come on. If his son would have got a hold of his liquor stash and drank himself to death and got alcohol poisoning, would he want to ban liquor? I mean, anything can kill people. It's not a matter of the tool that's used to do it. It's a matter of the person that implements that tool to use it for nefarious means. That's the problem. So anyway, back to the statement here, is they have done it. The pictures that they showed was really, really neat. It was like a little cartoon strip, and it showed like back in colonial times, and it shows like redcoats, with guys on their porches, and they were coming out with the guys' muskets out of their house. And then underneath it, it had guys in military gear, and they were holding guns, and people were handcuffed to their porch. And they were coming out with their guns. And it says Louisiana, and had like the Katrina dates. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Because they were going into people's homes and taking their firearms so they couldn't defend themselves against marauders and looters and all that. And we're like, oh, you can stay here, but you have to be unarmed. You can't protect yourself if you want to stay here. They would handcuff you outside your house if need be, detain you, rob you, at gunpoint, and take your stuff and send you on your way. And I watched lots of videos about a lot of people that were scared for their lives. They thought they were going to get shot by the military because they were trying to take their firearms from them. And, you know, it's crazy to me. And this is sometimes some of the stories were like people that was already out of like the danger-stricken zones and they were leaving the state. And they just happened to be passing through a roadblock thing on the way out, and they were still stripping them of their guns on the way out of the state. Law-abiding citizens were getting robbed by the government, by military forces, of their firearms. So, will they do it? Certainly, they have. They have already done it, and they will do it again. You know, and it's not just Obama. I mean, you know, I don't care for the dude, but it's not just him. You know, and I mean, a lot of people Bush bash. I don't really hate Bush. I actually like some of the stuff that he did. I hate the Patriot Act. It's a bunch of bull crap. It was the most unpatriotic act there is. Is, you know, you trying to steal my freedoms and my liberties by spying on me. So I'm not really pro, politician. Actually, I'm more smaller government, more people governing. If we had no electoral college votes, if the electoral votes were gone, and it was just a person-to-person vote to put people in office, and if the president didn't have the power to pick his yes men and put them into authority, and everybody was voted on to be in office, and it was done by the populace, and who wants who in gets voted in as a group, and it was all one-for-one votes, and it was all majority rules, then hey, you know what? I would feel a lot more comfortable about that. But unfortunately, they don't want to do that because they can't manipulate the system that way. So, yeah, it's one of those kind of catch-22 things, And I know I've kind of gone off a little bit off topic here, so let me kind of get back on there. So, but again, this is for the people that are on the fence and they're not sure, should I be pro-gun or should I be anti-gun? Because you're like, guns are okay, I don't have a problem with them, but I don't want dead children either. Well, guess what? There's one thing all three parties can agree on. The anti-gun, the pro-gun, and the I don't know gun, all three parties, we don't want dead children. We all agree on that. We don't want madmen shooting up schools. None of us do. So we're all on the same page. We're all on the same team. We're all on the same side on this. We're all pro-life on this. But I do find it awful funny that the Democratic Party is okay with abortion and slaughtering droves of children, but they're not okay with a guy going to the classroom and shooting down a few kids. But they're pro-life on children, but they're pro-choice on abortion. That's kind of a double-edged sword. You might want to think about that one. It's just a little pearl of wisdom. Just kind of thought I'd throw that out there for you. But again, the main issue is, do your research for yourself. Find out what the firearms can really do. One thing I will end this with, and actually have a little visual representation here. This is a 223 round, a little 5.56, 223. They're pretty much the same round. 5.56 has a little bit more powder behind it, a little bit more bang for your buck. That's what NATO uses. The civilian version is a 223. It's a little bit less powerful. And in this case, you'll see that this one is an FMJ, which stands for full metal jacket. That means it's a hard metal nose, hard tip. It's not a hollow point. It's not meant to mushroom out. It's not a soft point. It doesn't ball up. Things like that. This is what NATO uses. Is full metal jackets. Now I'm going to give you a little lesson on firearms, real quick here. Whenever the bullet enters in the body, these bullets are designed to yaw. Now, anyone you understand what that means? That means it's going to take a severe turn in a general direction. So if this bullet hits, it is designed to yaw its way out of my body, turn and get out. It doesn't want it to go in there and stop and do a bunch of damage and hurt me and kill me. Because if you kill me, then that's one guy off the battlefield. If you wound me, then that's 3 guys off the battlefield. That's field strategy. That's what you do. And it's humane. You didn't kill people on the battlefield, so people after the war's over, they still have their population. There's some people that are wounded, but they didn't get killed, so things are kind of good, So it's one of those deals. So just kind of keep in mind, these are designed not to kill you. They're actually designed to wound you versus kill you. Now, can they kill you? Yes. Will they kill you? Definitely. Are they dangerous? Yes. All these things are dangerous. I mean, you know what? This little bitty knife is extremely dangerous if not respected. You could cut your own throat. You could cut your wrist on accident. If I was laying in bed and I was flipping the knife up and down over my head, I could drop it and stab myself in the throat. Or I could drop it and cut my wrist, and I could literally die just by an accident with a knife. This is dangerous because it's got a very sharp blade to it. All right? So, people are like, oh, the guns are so dangerous. Everything's dangerous. People could step off a curb, trip, fall, bust their head on the concrete, and die from head trauma. They get an embolism in their brain and they're out. People will die from weird stuff all the time. And people get shot in the head with high caliber rounds and live to tell about it, and they walk around function fine. So the things are just subjective. So what you have to do is you have to weed out through all the BS and all the bullcrap, and you have to think for yourself. So all I'm asking you on the fencers is to not be a sheep. Don't be a sheeple. Don't follow any of the herd. Don't just be a pro-gunner because I say be a pro-gunner. Don't be an anti-gunner just because all your buddies are anti-gun. I want you to get out and do your own research and go, you know what? I want to see what guns really do, what kind of damage they can really do. I want to go to a range and shoot some guns and see what happens, and see what the vibe is in the range, and see how people conduct themselves. And I'm not just one range, but go to 4 or 5 different ranges and get a good feel for the culture as a whole, the gun culture. Go to several different gun shows, and talk to several different people about gun stuff, and ask their questions. And you're going to find your kooky dudes in there, because there's going to be kooky dudes there. You're going to find your kooky dudes in the anti-guns crowd too, also. But go out and do your research. Find out what things are about. Do things for yourself. And then after you've done your research and you understand both sides' points of view, and you've done your own research, then you can make your own educated, opinion on, are you pro or are you against? And this is what the whole video is about, is you make up your own mind. Don't let anybody push you into it, because if anybody pushes you into it, then that's whenever bad things start to happen to America, because you're no longer thinking for yourself. You're letting somebody else push you on the ride, and you're just following along like a sheep going bah, bah, and that's it. So be a free thinker, think for yourself, do your own research, make up your own mind, by all means. And again, if you're off topic, I will cut your comments out, and if need be, block you from my channel. Keep it on topic. Pro-gunners, anti-gunners, on the fencers, don't be spiteful, don't be malicious, just speak. Give your opinions, why, but keep it clean, okay? This is Shaun of the Dead saying thanks. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. Anti-gunners, if you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. That's cool. I don't care. That's fine. I'm a big boy. I can take it. If you like this video and it was give you some information, you on the fencers, give me a thumbs up on it, and subscribe, and check out some of my other stuff. Some of the other stuff is kind of fun. This is more serious topic, but a lot of my other stuff's a lot more lighthearted. So this is Shaun of the Dead saying thanks for watching.